All right, this is a response to Doug Walker's top 10 worst movie list, especially number one, The Garbage Pail Kids. But first, let's listen in.
I don't know anything about the director, like where these people went. I think the guy who played the person who like I don't know what you call him, the ringleader, not the ringleader. The guy who discovers the pail. I think he's like a musician or something like that. I can't remember his name, but I think that was like the only kind of name that was in this, and he was one of the people where I'm like, all right, what
Yeah, okay. Well, you know,
kind
that guy, that guy that you're talking about who's kind of a musician, his name's Anthony Newley. He wrote all the music to a little movie called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He was a big actor, child actor, and as well as pop star in Britain. Uh, David Bowie took a lot from him. He wrote a very famous song and sang this famous song that you might know called Feeling Good. You know, birds in the sky, you know how I feel. And I'm feeling good. You might not know he wrote that because Nina Simone did a cover of that. And it's basically become her song at this point. Um, so yeah, to say he's kind of a musician just shows that I guess you haven't bothered to look into the history of the movie for one thing. And for another thing, this movie is not nostalgic for you, Doug. Garbage Pail Kids is not nostalgic for you in the slightest, as you admit. You never saw it as a child growing up. Your mother said, "Oh, the movie's stupid. I'm not going to let you watch it." Me, on the other hand, I watched this movie. I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times. It was on a VHS tape we had, and copied with some other movies, and I watched that tape a lot. And I thought the movie was fine growing up. Of course, 10, 11 years old, you think a lot of things that are actually stupid are pretty good. And I'm not going to sit here and defend the movie and say that's a great film, it's a cinematic piece of art, but I have nothing against this movie. I watched the movie a couple years ago recently. It's on YouTube, or it was on YouTube, and just a lot of nostalgia watching it. Uh, it's definitely not the worst movie ever made. There are a lot of better candidates for that, like his second movie, which was Cat in the Hat, which totally destroyed, just ripped the soul out of Dr. Seuss's book. Um, and then there's every Disney remake, just awful, awful garbage. Um, but this movie, it was never going to be a good movie. It's Garbage Pail Kids, for one thing. It's based on a series of trading cards that are gross and nasty and despicable and violent and awful, and it was never going to be something great. Tim Burton came along and made a great movie out of a trading card series called Mars Attacks, but Garbage Pail Kids was never going to be good. Never going to be good. And it might not supposed to be good. You know? It might be supposed to be competent as a movie, but The Godfather it will never be. Um, but that's really it. All I gotta say is stop taking a dump all over the Garbage Pail Kids. For one thing, it's not nostalgic for Doug. It's not nostalgic for the nostalgia critic because he didn't watch it till he was an adult. His very first episode, real episode, was all cartoon all stars to the rescue, and he did that in 2007. And at that point, the show was 17 years old, and watching that was a heavy dose of nostalgia for real. Just like watching the Garbage Pail Kids review was a heavy dose of nostalgia for me, but not for him, because he didn't watch that until just before he made the review. Because apparently he got requests for like, "You gonna do Garbage Pail Kids? You gonna do Garbage Pail Kids? You gonna do Garbage Pail Kids?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll do the Garbage Pail Kids," and he'd never seen it until just before he reviewed it. So there's no nostalgia for that for him, and there's there's not a lot of nostalgia in his show anymore. I mean, his first iteration from 2007 to 2011, yeah, I think there was quite a lot of nostalgia in that, for me anyway. But I really wonder why this guy has never reviewed American Ninja. Why has he never reviewed American Ninja? Does he not know what it is? Did he never watch it as a kid growing up? There's four movies in the series. The first one I saw so many times. Uh, but that's just it. Stop taking a dump on this movie. It stars the great Anthony Newley, and it's just not as bad. It's just not as bad as you think it is, or as you want it to be. There are much worse movies. That's it.